Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. Ya Allah, ya Rahman, ya Rahim. Bersempena dengan majlis pada hari ini, kami berkumpul untuk menimba ilmu, bertukar pendapat, menyumbang buah fikiran, menghubungkan silaturahim dan memberi sokongan ke arah menjayakan Malaysia ICT Summit 2023. Demi kemakmuran negara Malaysia yang kami cintai, kami memohon kepadamu, Ya Allah, agar majlis ini diberkati dengan limpahan rahmat-Mu. Semoga segala usaha kami dalam menjayakan majlis pada hari ini mendapat keredaan-Mu, Ya Allah, dan mencapai segala objektif dan matlamat yang telah ditetapkan. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Amin ya rabbal alamin.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fairul. Amin, amin, ya rabbal alamin. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, over the past 2 days, we have had an extremely informative summit with a wealth of sharings and thought-provoking ideas, insights, and possible solutions from our esteemed speakers and panelists to promote ICT innovation as well as infrastructure development while bringing more opportunities for Malaysia's sustainable digital economy growth as well as industrial upgrading. So with that, to give us a summary of our Malaysia ICT Summit 2023, it gives me great pleasure to firstly invite Mr. Simon Lin, the President of Huawei Asia Pacific, to deliver his summary speech.
Young among Muhammad, Datuk Seri, Anwar bin Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia. Young Muhammad Tuan Fahmi bin Fadil, Minister of Communication and Digital. Young Muhammad Puang Tu Nai Ching, Deputy Minister of Communication and Digital. Young Baba Hagia, Dan Sri Muhammad Salim bin Fantai Ding, Chairman of MC. Mr. Julian Gauman, Head of GSMA Asia Pacific. Mr. Simon Sun, CEO of Huawei Malaysia, Senior Government Officers, esteemed speakers, partners, delegates, members of media, and ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First, I would like to thank Young Ahmad Muhammad Datuk Seri and Anwar bin Ibrahim for your presence. It is our great honor to have you here as we open on a new chapter in Malaysia's ICT development. I would also like to thank YB Fahmi Fadil and his delegation from the Ministry, as well as the other distinguished guests present here today for attending this event. I'm delighted to welcome my old friend, Mr. Julian Gauman from GSMA as the industry partner of this summit. Hosting today at the Malaysia ICT Summit 2023 is a great pleasure. Our goal is to create a platform for experts to exchange ideas and chart a strategic way forward to foster a green and sustainable digital economy. Currently, we are inspired to see that Malaysia is making big strides toward becoming a high-income and truly digital nation by 2030. As His Excellency the Prime Minister emphasized during his visit in China, Malaysia is determined to achieve the new industrial Master Plan 2030 in 7 years. So to meet this goal, around 95 billion ringgit investment will be needed. I do believe this investment will bring incredible return to Malaysia's digital economy. By 2025, this sector might contribute more than 25% to the country's GDP, exceeding 382 billion ringgit. At the same time, the integration of digital technologies and the energy industry has become the key driver for green development. Digitalization will support Malaysia to increase the share of renewable energy in its installed capacity to 31% by 2025 and 40% by 2035. At part its carbon neutrality 2050. As Malaysia pursues this vision, Huawei is ready to support it in building a digitally innovative and green Malaysia. We are committed to being your partner every step of the way. As a global ICT provider, Huawei will leverage our technical capacities, industry solutions, and the ecosystem to boost 5G, AI, cloud, digital energy, and so on. In addition, we will keep contributing to inclusive Malaysian by cultivating local talent. Ladies and gentlemen, this summit is a part of our long-term commitment to supporting Malaysia's sustainable digital economy. I hope that this 2 days event has served as a valuable platform to share insight, best practice, and foster cooperation. In closing, I want to once again thank you all for taking your time off your busy schedules to join us. And I look forward to the closing remarks and the vision from His Excellency Prime Minister. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, 谢谢. Thank you so much, Mr. Simon.
Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Anwar bin Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia. Yang Berhormat Tuan Ahmad Fahmi bin Muhammad Fadzil, Minister of Communications and Digital Malaysia. Yang Berhormat Puan Tia Ni Ching, Deputy Minister of Communication and Digital Malaysia. Mr. Simon Ling, President of Huawei Asia Pacific. Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Muhammad Salim bin Fatidin, Chairman of MCMC, Mr. Simon Sung, CEO of Huawei Malaysia, senior government officials, esteemed speakers, partners and delegates, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is truly an honour to stand before you today on behalf of the GSMA at this Malaysia ICT Summit and provide these remarks. The presence of the Right Honourable Prime Minister and His Excellency Minister of Communications is truly a formidable message to the industry and to the nation and to the world of Malaysia's commitment to a sustainable and inclusive digital Malaysia. The journey that Malaysia has embarked upon towards green digital Malaysia, and referred to so well by Mr. Simon Lim of Huawei, and the inclusive economy is nothing short of inspiring. And I would like to thank Simon and the team at Huawei for hosting such a powerful event and for the VIPs who have spared their time to be part of this event today. In an era when the intersection of technology and sustainability is crucial for the prosperity of digital nations, Malaysia is making the hard and bold steps forward. The vision for a green digital Malaysia is not just a testament to Malaysia's commitment to a greener planet, but it also signifies a pioneering spirit of harnessing the power of technology to drive environmental stewardship. As we look around us, we see the ever-increasing impact of digital technologies in shaping our world. The strides Malaysia is taking towards a more inclusive digital economy are commendable. By prioritising accessibility, education, opportunity, Malaysia is not only unlocking the potential of its citizens, but it's contributing to a more equitable global digital landscape that we can all refer to. The initiatives announced to bridge the digital divide, such as Digital Malaysia, Jendela, ensuring that every citizen has access to the tools and the knowledge required to drive in the digital age, are exemplary. This commitment to an inclusive and powerful, sends a powerful message that progress and prosperity are not the privileges of a select few, but the birthright of every Malaysian. And that is a really potent reference for the region. Moreover, Malaysia's efforts in fostering a culture of innovation are palpable by nurturing a vibrant ecosystem that encourages startups, research and development. Malaysia is nurturing the seeds of future growth. This fertile ground for innovation is where groundbreaking solutions for a sustainable and in digital economy and a world of future sustainably inclusive nations is born. A green digital Malaysia points to an essential truth that economic growth need not come at the expense of our environment. Ladies and gentlemen, we stand at a critical juncture in history where the choices we make today will shape the world for the generations to come. 10 days ago, the GSMA presented its Mobile Industry Impact Report to the United Nations. While admirable progress has been made since it was first published 7 years ago when the GSMA and the industry committed to solving sustainable development goals by the year 2030, there is now concerns that maybe those targets will not be met. But the GSMA has a long heritage of collaboration with Malaysia through the MCMC, through MDEC, through Meranti, and the mobile industry, including Axiata, who has been a member of the GSMA board for many years. I look forward to strengthening our collaboration in the coming years and championing Malaysia's commitment and leadership to a sustainable and inclusive nation on our global and regional stages, and embracing the energy and warmth of this ICT summit in my discussions around the region to help evangelise Malaysia's leadership and help the world achieve those sustainable development targets. Thank you and selamat kasih.
Thank you so much, Mr. Julian. And terima kasih. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we've all been waiting for, it is with great honor to invite Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Anwar bin Ibrahim, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, to now deliver his speech and to officiate the closing ceremony of Malaysia ICT Summit 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Anwar bin Ibrahim.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Saudara Fahmi dan Tuni Ching, Menteri dan Timbalan Menteri, Tan Sri Salim, MCMC, Saudara Simon daripada Huawei dan Saudara Julian, Government dari GSMA dan rakan-rakan saya muliakan. Bagi pihak kerajaan tentunya kita memulakan dengan menyatakan kesyukuran kepada Allah SWT dan juga penghargaan kepada Huawei dan GSMA kerana dapat menyelenggarakan ICT Summit yang sangat bermakna. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, The Malaysian government have taken a very bold decision to ensure that we get and benefit from the phenomenal change, advancement and development in the IT industry, and therefore we made this decision, a departure from a decision to ensure that we benefit from whatever technology that has been produced and surfaced, and from the decision to have a single network, we made a very tough decision. And mind you, I'm not exaggerating when I say this, to allow for a fair competition so that we as a nation, the young nation, can benefit from the best of both worlds. Well, it is not an easy decision precisely because the conventional view in some parts of the world is that concerns about security, about capacity of new industries, particularly that stems from China. But we in Malaysia, with this Madani philosophy and Madani economy, decided, and I believe rightly, that once we get the best from the West, we also should benefit the best from the East. We have made the decision years ago by the past administration to only work on a single network. But I think after extensive discussion, debates, and even people like me having to learn, explore deeply to the innovation, technology, and the superiority of all, we made the decision to allow for a dual network. And thus that decision for more effective participation by Huawei. And let's see, and I think we will be proven right, because as a young nation, whilst we have benefited immensely from the contribution from the West, from the United States and Europe, in the initial part of our development and the industrial strength in Penang and the Lembah Kelang, we also realize that the geopolitics and economic changes have impacted upon our country, and we have seen the growing rise of China and to an extent India. And we should, as a nation that is fiercely independent, be bold enough to make a decision and decide what is best for our country. I was in Nanning just a few weeks ago. I just came back from New York, by the way. Yesterday evening, so I'm a bit dazed, particularly when I'm not reading the text. And Premier Lee Chiang was kind enough to host and had discussions, and I told him precisely the need to keep Malaysia as a vibrant economy with an independent stance to benefit, because we have benefited, as I said, without exaggeration, from the technology of, from Intel to Motorola and etc., from the United States, who continue to be a reliable friend. But we see that our neighbor, China, has shown a lot of interest and friendship and interest to make sure that neighbors prosper together. And so, in the last few months, you see, I've met and had lengthy discussions with Premier Lee Chiang 3 times, and President Xi Jinping, who gave that wonderful vision, which has certainly attracted my attention, not only in terms of economic advancement, digital transformation, he talks about food security, elevating the standards of the poor, but we share something unique, because most leaders do not talk about values and civilization, except for the pioneers of independence, be it in what you consider the Pilgrim Fathers of the American independence movement, or some of the earlier initiators during the struggle against colonialism or imperialism. But in President Xi Jinping and myself, we talk about values and civilization, and which transcend just economic imperative or technology, but which focuses on issues of compassion and humanity, which is a deficit in our society. So what relevance has this to the ICT? Because we talk about inclusivity. We talk about digital divide. So this is not technology per se. This is technology with understanding of what is required to ensure that the nation mature and benefit its citizens. We are not in favor of a digital transformation that would continue this divide or gross inequality between the very rich and the poor, or development in the urban and the rural hinterland. So we talk about digital divide and inclusivity. That's why when I met the Huawei leaders in Nanning, that's when I was persuaded to attend this meeting anyway. They told me a few things. For example, technology, yes. Training is very critical. You see, Malaysians have the capacity, enormous capacity, and this is not new. From the 1990s, in my meeting with Bill Gates or Dell, have always said that it's spectacular, the resolve of young Malaysians, which does not include me, to study, to have that discipline that is required, and surface and become successful, competent professionals. That's why Intel, for example, decided to have its center, research center and training in Penang. Now, what we lack, therefore, is that small niche, that level of expertise that's required. And only through our collaboration with industries in the West and here, like what we have with Huawei, with a commitment to give that opportunity, that small niche gap that could allow us, the younger Malaysians, to excel and have the level of competence and expertise that's required. Therefore, I must express my appreciation to Simon and his colleagues for undertaking this task. And when a Prime Minister gives that appreciation, which means Huawei is expected to do a bit more. And this collaboration would, of course, immensely assist not only Huawei as a company, but in our attempt to undertake this whole process of digital transformation, which is entrusted partly to MCMC. So, Tan Sri Salim, please listen carefully and make sure this collaboration works. Now, so we also talk about inclusivity, because a society cannot sustain itself. When you talk about sustainability, it's very important. When you refer to the issue of SDG, not only inclusivity, issue of inequality, and SDG specifically. Because to me, in the Madani philosophy, it cannot be sustainable if we look purely in terms of technological change or transformation without care, concern, and compassion to ensure that every single citizen in this country is given that opportunity. That's why our 5G network made it abundantly clear. It's just not a matter of technology, but it's a matter of ensuring that every single citizen, from the urban squatters or urban poor to the remotest area in Sabah or Sarawak, must be given that opportunity and access and connectivity. Otherwise, to my mind, it is not sustainable. Sustainability is not to benefit the few, urban elite or ruling clique. Sustainability means every single citizen will benefit. That is why we do not represent a view using this race card in this country. The country and the Constitution has made abundantly clear that the Malays, the Bumiputras, will be protected. But it is also made clear that in order to succeed and for a country to mature, we must not use a race card, as one must make sure that every single Malay or Chinese or Indian or Sabahan or Sarawakian be given their due right to stay, live, and protect this country. So, I just want to express again my appreciation and to reiterate what we have said before when we embarked upon this whole issue of digital transformation, because it requires a new mindset, a new attitude, and a new preparedness for us not only to learn, but also to share. And the pace must change. We can't talk about digital transformation and not ease of doing business. We had a session in Cabinet this morning, and I've reiterated this similar point, that we have the potential. And thank God, when we were in New York recently, you can sense the enthusiasm, recognition of potential investors to Malaysia. But we will have to respond accordingly, not only through digital transformation, but to make sure that there is ease of doing business, there's clarity in policy. That is why we have pronounced the Madani economy, the energy transition plan, the industrial master plan, and even our midterm review of the 12th Malaysia plan was actually a departure from a notion, the traditional notion of thinking about 5-year plan, to something that's adjusted according to the needs of the times, including the issue of digital transformation. Now, next month, I will have to present to Parliament the second Madani economy. And I believe the issues I have raised here and the issues that you have raised in your deliberations, if well summarized, can be presented to Fahmi, who shouldn't just sit and enjoy my speech, but to take notes and present to me so that we can improve the Madani budget. So, thank you again for this opportunity, and I've decided not to read the text, which is going to be extremely boring to you. And mind you, most of you have better understanding and competence. So let me give the macro outlook and introduce or remind you about the new approach by this administration. So terima kasih sekali lagi kepada semua. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Yang Amat Berbahagia, Berhormat Prime Minister. Thank you so much. Well said indeed. Kindly remain on stage for our next agenda. I'd now like to invite our other honorary dignitaries seated in front to join Yang Amat Berhormat Prime Minister on stage for the official closing ceremony. A lot of work right after his closing speech. So what we're going to do is we are going to line up all our VIPs up on stage. And let's just wait for everyone to be settled on stage first. Okay, we got it right. All right, so lady, I would like to invite you all to place your palm on the launch gambit, and then we will commence with our closing ceremony gimmick, all right? Ready? In 3, 2, 1, here we go. Congratulations, this officially concludes our closing ceremony of Malaysia ICT Summit 2023 towards Digital Green Malaysia. So much more work has got to be done, and I believe the respective parties will know what to do next. Our heartfelt gratitude and thanks to Yang Amat Berhormat Prime Minister of Malaysia for gracing us with his presence and for concluding our Malaysia ICT Summit 2023. We'd now like to invite Yang Amat Berhormat Prime Minister as well as all our other VIPs for a tour at our Malaysia ICT Summit exhibition. Thank you once again, Prime Minister, and inshallah we meet again soon.